Her parents told her to find herself a man that takes her butt sliding.
You find yourself a butt slider now, honey. That's a keeper. Hello and welcome to a rad special episode of Library Grindhouse. The only ticket you need is your library card. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Leah, and today we'll be giving you our top 5 reasons why to watch the 1986 film, Rad.
Yes, a BMX exploitation classic.
Yes.
All right, Leah, why don't you hit him with that spoiler-free plot summary?
The local newspaper boy, Crew Jones, who is consumed with bicycle motocross, or BMX, gets a chance to race on Hell Track and win a large cash sum of money. Only one problem: a corrupt promoter who has a stick up his butt about letting a local boy compete.
Moms, Adrian.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. All right, Leah, what's your number 5 reason to watch this movie?
Butt sliding. So this is literally pretty much a fully clothed on a small tube with 2 people going down a concrete sewage drain
it's like
into
it's a drainage,
a river.
Drainage ditch.
And this is something that they do, like you've never been butt sliding before? What?
What?
I just would.
Sure.
When I saw that, and it's like this romantic montage with
You will believe 2 people can fall in love butt sliding.
butt sliding. And I'm like, you could have said just like, do you want to go water tubing? Like, it could have been something else, but instead it's butt sliding.
But remember at the beginning where his friend's like, hey, let's go butt sliding? Yeah. It's like, what?
What is that?
How does that work when it was with your bros? Like, are you like...
They're still holding on to each other.
Yeah, is it like
with
that?
The music playing in the background with like the...
I mean, I'm not going to shame you if that's how you hang with your bros, but like...
No, but it's so... Yeah, like these... They're not hardcore, but like the bicycle guys, you know, eating their cereal and reading the newspaper with their bicycle gloves still on, and they're wanting to go butt sliding together. Your number 5 reason.
Lori Loughlin, from her obvious stunt performer to her effortlessly making us believe that she loved butt sliding with Crew, she was a national treasure at this point in her career. I mean, come on. She should have won an Academy Award.
She should have.
I mean, just the look of love and adulation as in slow motion, they slide down this sewage tunnel into the ice cold water, and just her look of joy and just, this is the most wonderful man and experience I could ever be having right now.
Right?
It was in slow motion. You cannot lie. You cannot fake that.
No, you can't. And I paused it when she was like a little bit downward, and her face is literally like,
right.
She is just, her hair is back and
I am having the most wonderful time with the most wonderful man.
I feel like she had to have like a crush on her co-star or something and really be enjoying being that close to him or something.
It was.
Or like, that river was made out of champagne.
Or she is that good an actor. Like, it's just, I don't know what it is, but wow.
Man, that's so funny we had butt sliding.
Absolutely. How could you not?
Her parents told her to find herself a man that takes her butt sliding.
You find yourself a butt slider now, honey. That's a keeper. Okay, Leah, what's your number 4?
Okay. My number 4 is the fact that there's a $100,000 cash prize in the 80s. For the person who wins this BMX race.
I wasn't even paying attention.
It's $100,000 with the promoter giving a local kid, if he wins, an extra $10,000 or something, if he qualifies, $10,000. But they said $100,000, and I was like, what? That's like the equivalent of like $500,000 or what? I don't know. Like wild, in today's rate for these kids who are just a random BMX like thing through this town.
It's not just a random BMX thing. I mean, this is like national live coverage.
TV cameras in every corner of the town, showing on network television.
Like Wide World of Sports, major network coverage apparently of the Hell Track race.
and then I was just so confused because they're offering this amount of money to a track that's being put up in this town. that doesn't allow their kids to bike around? I was very confused about that.
I mean, they do, but these guys are kind of misfits. I mean, people. I mean, they're luckily
but they're friendly and
they
kind
are.
to
And that's
everyone.
why no one like hates them, but they are kind of seen as a little bit delinquent in terms of like they don't take school as seriously as everyone else.
Yeah.
They're constantly like jumping on people's property and riding through people's property and trespassing in lumber yards.
That's true. That is true.
And things like that. And so they get into quote, I guess it'd kind of be like innocent trouble.
Number 4.
All right. Gotta love the old PG movies with kids cussing and birds being flipped more than once. Man, they don't make them like that anymore. The precocious kids.
Don't.
I started watching this with my kids, and my daughter's like, should we be watching this?
Oh, that's so cute though.
Because, yeah, the little girl
that's
is
really adorable.
cussing a blue streak in this movie, and it's so great.
Oh, his sister is great.
I mean, old ladies cussing and little kids cussing is just hilarious.
Yes,
It's comedy
it is.
gold.
Waiting for your brother, Wesley? No, you blimp, I'm meditating.
It is, and you don't see that anymore,
No,
really.
like you don't.
don't.
Unless it's like an R-rated film. That's no fun.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
no fun. You
no
know
fun.
there are kids who swear.
Well, I
at
mean,
you,
but
and it's like-
even in
Or
Psycho
who want
Gorman,
to.
even in Psycho Gorman, Mimi doesn't curse, but
They
she still is
purposely-
like,
It's still funny. Yeah,
yeah, she's
off.
still
Like,
a crazy kid.
Oh, she's a whole sociopath, but at least she doesn't curse.
Yeah, but she doesn't curse.
Yeah. But I love that. It's just so great. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a thing. Kids see and hear this stuff, and it's like, you don't have to be excessive about it.
No.
But at the same time, it's more realistic to occasionally have something in
And
there.
every kid does that with, well, I shouldn't say every kid, but most kids like with their siblings. You know
Or
what
their
I mean?
friends, when they're
yeah,
their friends, trying to look big and bad, you know.
It happens. I feel like that's a part of growing up. It's a part
It
of
is
the.
a huge part.
There's a time and a place for it. You know what I mean? You have to learn those circumstances.
And it's one of those things where, yeah, I mean, you make it a harder PG, but I feel like more PG movies would feel more honest.
Yes, I agree.
You know, that there's like definitely no F-bombs, but you know, I mean, flipping the bird, I mean, that, maybe, but I mean, it's one of those things where I feel like that needs to be able to be okay to be a thing now.
Yeah.
Of like, you know, because obviously every parent says we don't want you to say these things, especially not like around other people in school and things like that.
But
and,
it still happens.
but people still say it, and you know, we're only human, so it's just one of those things where I just feel like it needs to be part of kids'
We're only
movies.
human.
Bring cussing back to kids' movies again. You know what I'm saying? What's your number 3?
My number 3, Adrian. When I saw that, and I had this whole, you know, my vivid imagination
I
went
forgot about
wild.
that connection. Okay.
My vivid imagination went wild because her last
Talia
name's Shire.
Shire?
Yes,
Talia Shire?
Talia Shire is his mother.
Have a good day at school? Yeah, great. I kicked the kid in the shins.
Okay, and then she talks about how their dad went away and all of this, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, oh, this is an alternate universe. That's Rocky's kid. Crew is Rocky's kid. Rocky ended up dying. She moved to this suburb, and she's doing that thing like she did in Rocky 3, or is it 4? Rocky 4, because he's fighting
Drago.
yeah. So where she just pretty much goes, you can't win, and she does it to Crew essentially, like, you can't do this. You're putting off blah blah.
You have a chance with an education.
And Crew's way of thinking is hysterical, by the way. Like, I'm not good at anything else besides this.
Would you try to understand? The only thing I'm good at is riding this bike.
You don't want me to do this? It's the only thing that I'm good at. I can push college back 6 months. And everyone's just like, okay, yeah, sure. Go ahead and push college back. Go for it.
Well, eventually, I think she's like, this is the time in his life to do this. I think she realizes that, you know, okay, he's not an academic superstar. I still want him to have a degree because that's his way to a future. But at the same time, like, if he's going to ever pursue this, this is the time to
agree.
do it when he's young, can recover from a serious injury potentially.
I agree.
You know?
But like I just see so many parallels between Crew and Rocky in terms of like if he were his kid and like the mentality of being the same thing. Instead of boxing, do BMX. I feel like it would be the same parallel. And then with the butt sliding, I was like, that's such a Rocky thing. Like taking Adrian to the zoo. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Taking Adrian to the zoo, he takes Lori Loughlin butt sliding. Like,
In the zoo, cute animals, that could be a
No,
nice date. You
I
know what I'm
agree. It
saying?
would be a nice
Especially
date.
like zoo lights at Christmas time, great date.
it would totally be a great date.
Yeah.
And I especially like Festival of Lights.
Butt sliding's never a great
Love
date.
that stuff.
Okay?
But I was just like,
There's no world
I was like,
in
this
which
is Rocky's kid. I feel like I could hear Rocky, like Sylvester Stallone, be like, take her somewhere nice. pass, like to the river, butt slide. Like what?
Take a butt slide. Kid, trust me.
I ran like with the whole other just alternate universe side script in my brain as soon as I saw Adrian. Like as soon as I saw, yeah. Anyway.
I don't want to hear any more about it.
So my number 3.
Yeah, so what's your number 3, Jesse?
80s music montage bliss.
Getting ready to break the ice.
From the opening to the close.
Yes.
When they hear all the thunder.
If you love an 80s music montage, it's basically this movie.
This is the movie for you, definitely.
I mean, the music, gloriously 80s, trying so hard to be Survivor, Eye of the Tiger, Best
Music,
Around from Karate Kid.
Costumes, hair.
Oh my gosh.
Everything fits straight into like an 80s music video. To piggyback off of yours, that's my number 2.
Okay.
My number 2.
I was like, Leah, if you don't talk about the montage.
My number 2 is the glorious, just 80s everything, and then put it on top. It wasn't a school dance, as you said, but the dance scene where you have literally, I've never seen a push-up worm dance move until this movie.
Oh, those twins. I thought
There's the twin dancers, and then, let alone the glorious part, which is how
the
Jesse.
outfits.
The outfits were wonderful.
Oh my gosh.
But how Jesse wrote me into, this is even before, I think it was before the Grindhouse even started. He showed me the scene of Lori Loughlin, like BMX dancing.
Oh.
Like,
it's just rolls
she's
in
literally,
like a goddess.
she's like on a bike, just, well, you think, you can't really see her on a bike because there's no way this is actually her doing these stunts.
Well, the bike is like on a 4-wheeled cart of some kind,
but
being
she's
pushed by PAs or something.
Going through and
Yeah, just
she's so graceful
voguing
on her.
on the bike.
It's great. That, if nothing else, like
yeah.
if this movie doesn't pique your interest, please at least check it out and just watch those scenes, and then your interest will be piqued, and
like
you will watch the
rad
rest of
dance
it.
scene or something like that. So search it, find it, love it.
As soon as you see it, you're gonna be like, I need to watch this movie.
Watch the whole movie.
Because it's great. It's great. Yeah, yes.
And we're just at number 2. I mean, I forget what my number 2 is. Shall we find out?
That's your number 2, Jesse?
Send Me an Angel, Bicycle Boogie, changed my life. The dreams I had of being this cool. The daydreams of just,
Jesse.
like, it was more like the school talent show, but like riding my bike out onto the stage and just blowing everyone's minds.
My thing is that I feel like the dancers were like really in it, and like they were doing some really tricky stuff, and then just, why did they even bring their bikes in there though? Like there was like a dancing, it was a dance.
Well, but like the twins and the blonde dude were like, I mean, they were like voguing, like they had a whole like choreograph, like what is happening? Do they have like a whole thing planned?
But I don't know. How do they have a choreographed dance though before they even know each other on bikes?
They just have this connection, Leah.
They must.
It hasn't even been forged in butt sliding yet. I love how he just runs off at the end too, just like, I'm like, did somebody say something?
I know.
And he's just like, I'm out of here. Like, oh no. I think she likes me.
I'm so embarrassed I just BMX dance.
Oh my gosh. Pretty girl just danced bicycle boogie with me. I better go. I don't know why I have him as a voice-breaking awkward 13-year-old, but it feels like an awkward 13-year-old move.
does.
I'm just like, I think the girl likes me.
Leaving.
I'm gonna go throw up.
I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, it's like.
Oh my goodness gracious. Oh man. Well,
movie,
Jesse, what is your number 1 reason
Because I said so.
to watch this movie?
Okay, I mean, the original title was Balls Out. I own 4 copies of this movie and may one day have 5 if I can track down a vintage VHS tape that isn't crazy expensive. Okay? It is truly rad.
Oh my gosh.
I love this movie.
You know, my number 1 reason was because I said so, but I'm giving it to you because I feel like this movie was a huge part of your life.
It was, in ways I didn't fully understand until I was able to watch it again. And it just all came crashing back of just how much of my, like, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, you know, having like a BMX bike, but didn't have the cool like handle like things on the wheels where I could stand on them or anything like that. But just the dreams of like being able to do all that cool stuff and getting the girl, because I was just such a great rider on the bike, and I'm gonna give this to you, Jesse. I feel like if Jesse's telling you to watch this movie and it means so much to him when he was younger, you need to watch it. I mean, they just don't make him like this anymore for multiple reasons, but it's such a good time capsule, and just the fact that you literally couldn't legally watch this movie unless you tracked down a VHS copy.
Yeah.
Like you could find it on YouTube and stuff, which isn't strictly legal. So the fact that now you can actually just go on Canopy and check it out, I mean, those are our reasons to watch the movie. So go to Canopy and check this out for yourself, like right now. Like, we want this to stay on Canopy. Like, we don't want this to go anywhere. We don't take Rad for granted. I did. I rented this as a kid, just innocently thinking, we'd always have Rad, Leah. No matter what happens.
We would always have Rad.
We will always have Rad.
And then Rad went away.
And we almost didn't.
And now it's back on Canopy, along with Jesse's multiple copies.
Like when I was in college and stuff, and like we were all kind of reliving stuff from our childhood, and things are coming out on DVD, and Rad just never appeared.
Were you waiting for it? Were you like scouring for it?
I would literally like
I'd
be looking at releases, waiting for news that Rad would be back.
It was too rad. It was too rad for the general population.
It was, but now Rad's for everyone.
Rad is for everyone.
And it's on Canopy.
And you need to watch it because Jesse told you to. I told you to too, but Jesse really told you to.
I really told you to.
This is his.
This movie is important. It means something. The world needs Rad, and I will say, the world needs Rad.
The world needs Rad.
The world needs Rad.
Watch it. Watch it.
Yeah, so head over, check out Rad, head over to Canopy to check this thing out. For Library Grindhouse, I'm Jesse.
And I'm Leah.
And we will see you next week.
Bye.